Hello everyone, welcome back to this 100% Lies of P walkthrough. In this session, we're going to be making our way through the St. Frangelico Cathedral. So let's get started.
Gold coin trees are said to belong.
So you can see Giangio has moved here. And watch for we'll get a glimpse of the boss here. Look at that. Some kind of snake-like thing. I always find this part right here a little odd because it kind of looks like you're supposed to like go over here and jump down through all of that, but that's actually not the way forward. It's over here. Remember, you can hold this sprint or dodge key or whatever to go down a ladder fast. So here you can see there's a puddle of goo on the ground. If you step in it, you'll actually build up decay. Now, decay is a status effect that, if it fills up and the bar changes, from purple to the orange color, your weapon will start losing durability really rapidly. You will also lose health, but the main thing it does is destroys your weapon. So that's a really bad effect to have. You want to clear it if you get it. Over here is a shortcut, but it's moving the wrong way. What we want to do, our goal is to make our way through this level and get to the point where we can unlock or pull a lever that will flip this so that it goes up instead of down. So I'm going to pop a resistance ampule. Get out just in time. Alright, and then we're just going to wait for a little bit. I don't want to waste a purification ampule, so I'm going to let my decay go down a little bit, and then we'll grab that loot. Alright. And now you're going to discover why I had us hoard thermite. Because there are some enemies here that fling stuff at us, and they can be hard to get to and kill without falling off a beam, especially for people who are not that experienced with this kind of game, moving in this kind of game. So this is just a nice conservative, I'm going to give you a nice conservative approach to guarantee you don't fall. You can knock this guy down. That way he won't ambush us later when we're going for that loot. So here you can see, here's one of these enemies. I'm going to come over here so you can kind of see, and we'll get them to fling stuff at us. You can see they want to throw acid at us. Now let this one come in and get him. Alright, so what I'm going to do is throw some thermite. And you can see one thermite will be enough to completely kill them. Just wait, they will literally die on just from that one hit. And there they go. So that just makes it really, really safe. And now, if you're not very good or comfortable moving with, on these high beams, you can now take as much time as you need. So it's just a really safe, conservative way to do this section. You can see some petrification disease or through there, pretty gross. Now I see some loot there, 2 pieces, one there and one there. So the way you get to that is by going through here. So you can see that we could fall. And then go over here. And then we can just fall here. And then to get back, you need to jump. And then we'll go back up the ladder. So now there's another one of these enemies here. So what you can do is I like to lock on, and then, well, we won't lock on yet. We'll get a little closer, but now I'm going to guard. And the guarding will move me back a little, but now I throw. And now I'm just going to guard. Oh! Well. That was unfortunate. I think that happened because I was locked on. If I'd been facing forward on the beam, I'd have been fine. So just remember that when you go through and do it. You can also make the throw from a distance, but the thermite tends to splash on the spokes of that wheel. And so you end up risking kind of wasting a bunch of thermite. Let me see how much we still have. So we still have 5 thermite, so we're okay. I'm not going to bother re-killing any of these. We were only clearing them out to get the loot. This shows you, this is actually probably good to show because odds of you doing this whole section right the first time, or if you're a first timer, weren't very high anyway, so this lets you see how it works. We're going to wait for this one to run up. Let them come at us. Alright. Now you can do like, let them throw once, and then you can get them. Just to show that. This one's pretty easy to take out without a thermite. But just to show it, you can make the throw, right? It's just a little risky with the wheel. You can see I missed. There we go. So if you can make that, it might even be worth doing what I did there, just tossing 2 thermite. But that takes them out, and now we can relax. So I encourage you to do better than I just did and not die at all here. So there's a section here where there's this, oh actually no, that's a later one. Here we just move fast. Okay. So we go through, there's going to be one here. Puppet string him over and just get him. That way we don't aggro this guy. And now we can hit this guy with thermite too, right? And this is an easy throw. Just kind of move away, let him die so we don't get hit by acid. So you can see how safe that was. So if you saw how I made the throw back from a distance, that's probably even better than stepping out on the beam. If you're really comfortable with both jumping and running, you can actually take this guy out by doing a jump from that beam onto his platform, or her platform, because they're female. All right, let's see. Now here there will be a spoke of the wheel missing. You can see it up there. How there's one missing, and that's when we have the opportunity to go through. So that's now. If you're not playing with specters and don't care, this is just a star fragment, so you cannot even risk falling from this. So you can see how I'm just being really cautious, moving really slowly. And you can see if you kind of die back there, it's not really that big a deal. Where it gets really frustrating is if you die like way up here and have to repeat all of it. So here there's a ball going down, an electrified ball. But if you go to the right here, you're safe. See, it won't hurt you. Oh, I stand corrected. I thought you were safe there. All right, guess you're not. We'll go ahead and purify that. So almost every time I've ever done this, I've been able to hug the right there and not take any damage, so Not sure what I did wrong or differently. You can see these hit you. They have a ton of long attack chain, right? Like four hits. So here we can run up and get this guy from behind. All right. We can go back and read this. Oh, because I'm a little injured? Let me demonstrate what the cube does. So this is a small heal over time. So you can kind of see my health bar sort of slowly ticking up. Oh, one thing I should mention, I got distracted because I was busy failing at the electric ball, but there was a ladder up there that you may have noticed. That actually leads to a Trinity Sanctum, but we don't have another Trinity key, so we can't open it yet. So we'll be returning to that much later. But just to make you aware, that's why I ignored that ladder. So here where you need to do a jump, you can see that there's a section here where the spoke is missing, so that's when we're going to make the jump. And then if you look over here, this enemy would ambush us. We're going to get loot over there later, but if we just knock them off now, they'll fall and die. Then we don't have to deal with them. Now here you can knock this over, and it'll clear out the pool of decay at the bottom. And if you look down there, you can see some stairs going down, so it unlocked a secret stairwell. So we'll want to look at that in a minute. Now this one, you don't actually even have to jump. You can see that you can just kind of walk. So you just walk over it. And now we made it to our shortcut, which is what we were hoping to get to. So now things are a lot easier for us. So that's the difficult section of this level taken care of. So you can see now this is going up instead of down. So if we die and we end up back at the bottom, we can now easily get back here. So let's go get the loot from here. We remember we hit that enemy with a sawtooth wheel, so the path over here is just completely clear. Nothing's going to bother us. And then there are a couple of secrets here that we can get. Just to show you this. You can ride this wheel. And we can ride it down, and there's a secret room over here with a weapon in it. So we can come over here, open that. We get the blind man's double-sided spear, which is a technique. So we can come over here. And then go down here. And then down here. And at this point, I think we survive if we fall. Okay, and we can go get the secret room down here. Oh. Because we died once, we do have enemies. I think they're ignoring us, though. And we got another cryptic vessel, which will be another puzzle that we can look at. So now if we go back over here, I'll just show you, see the shortcut. just gotta step on as one of those comes up. And there is also a room here. And then we will open this up. I think this is a Legion plug, or Legion caliber maybe. No, plug. Okay. And now, if my pulse cells were in better shape, I would just ride this back to the top and keep going. But because I'm out of pulse cells, I am going to be conservative and go back to the most recent Stargazer just to replenish. If you did this level better than I just did, this was a really poor showing, unfortunately, for this walkthrough. But if you did it better than I did and had a few pulse cells left, you would actually be fine. There's really only one large enemy left before moving on to the next Stargazer. But I didn't want to risk going in there with no pulse cells and just dying. But yeah, you saw, if I had just thrown that thermite from a distance, or just stayed oriented on the beam properly, I wouldn't have died. Now, I don't have an explanation for the ball. Normally I kind of hug the right there and the ball misses me, but it hit me there, so it might be because I was running, I was sticking out a little too much. So now we can walk over here. And just ride it all the way to the top, because we have cleared everything out. Now at this next enemy is going to have kind of a obnoxious arm that blocks your attacks, but we're just going to kind of patient smash them to death, which I think will probably knock off. I'm expecting to see it knock off a huge portion of their health. Let's see. You can see, oh look, this loot. Oh, that loot must be free, right? No. So we're gonna have a big enemy drop on us. And I'm just gonna patient smash right up front. And then R2. So you can see, like, look at that. Nope. But I staggered him. It'll be enough to finish him off. You get a quartz from that. So I wouldn't have needed any pulse cells to beat him, so that's good to know. It's pretty easy to take out as long as you land that patient smash. We can go over here on the right where there's a chest. So now we have both a supply box and a cryptic vessel. Rather than go back to the hotel, now I'm just going to power through and keep going here. Get us all the way to the boss, and then we can go back to the hotel and deal with all this. So you can hear someone talking over there. That's Cecile. We'll go talk to her in a second. Replenish some of our thermite since we used extra there.
I'm surprised to see who's, well, alive. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Cecile, and I serve the Archbishop. I'm the only one left. Everyone's dead. From the petrification disease, or from the monsters. I didn't die. But my heart breaks more each day. Can you do me a kindness? Bring me the holy mark from the Archbishop's quarters. The Archbishop was a true saint. He was my savior. If I write his words into my heart, maybe it'll give me the strength to carry on. I can't die. But perhaps This can help me live again. Please, bring me the holy mark as quickly as you can. I can't die.
Okay, so we gotta find the holy mark for her. You can see some loot up there. This over here is the door that will lead to the final boss of this area, but it's a shortcut door, so we have to open it by pulling a lever. So we can't do it yet. I see here there's a trap on the ground, so we're gonna avoid that. And then these things will drop a puddle of decay and hit you for some damage, so we don't want to, like, we can trigger them, but we don't want to step under them. There's someone who wants to throw things at us over on the right, so we're going to pull this person over. And now we're just going to hit them with thermite. I'll just take care of them without us even having to worry. And then we'll get this one. You can look up to see where those are going to be to make sure you don't fall. And then here, I like to drop down from all the way back here. You can see with the glowing lamp, there's a butterfly somewhere, but let me turn on the lamp so you can see better. Okay, so there's actual traps in here. So, you know, of course, what the game's hoping will happen is a butterfly will spawn, you'll get all excited and start chasing the butterfly and run over one of those things. So there it is. Also, depending on which hole you fall through, see there's a trap there and a trap there. If you fell through these holes, what happens is you land on the trap and then get impaled with a bunch of arrows. We're too smart for that. We weren't smart enough to avoid falling off a beam, but we're at least too smart for this. There's a little bit of loot here. And then we're done with this section. Can move on. So you'd see there's the arrow holes where they would come out of if I were to trigger it. Alright, and when we open up this shortcut door, we'll be right back in the initial hallway. And now the way forward is to go up these stairs. And then you can see this is where we already killed her with thermite. Oh, unfortunate. I was rolling to get out of the... I'll run back up real quick. "30 whole seconds lost." And there's another one. Just trying to avoid taking that damage. Now we'll go down the stairs. So you can see we kind of almost looks like you should be able to get to this, but we're actually going to come at it from the other side. And now we have some decay, so we're going to get them out of it. And then we're going to run through, not worry about the loot over there, we just want to get out of the decay first. Alright. Now that we've taken care of them, we can run over real quick and get the loot. Just go fast. There you go. So we managed to not get the decay debuff. So there's a big enemy out here. So we're going to go ahead and actually use our fire on them. I think I'm actually going to use a Fable Catalyst too. Oh. Well. Scared to pull up. I didn't have a Fable Catalyst bound. Let's do it real quick. Okay. Because if we patient smash this guy, he'll just melt. And then we can go up this elevator, where we will meet Alidoro. Don't worry, you're not missing any secret path off the elevator here. There are a couple of places where Eliza P does that, but they don't use that trick all that often.
I can't find the way out. Monsters everywhere. I need to grab my share and leave.
There's no loot up here, so you don't have to waste time going left and right, but there's a great view. You can look out over everything.
Oh, that's odd. I thought I was the only one with a sound mind here. Sure, I don't need to introduce myself? Note these golden wings? Yes, you guessed it. You don't know who I am. Preposterous! Everyone in Krat has heard of me. Do you live under a rock? I'm Alidoro the Hound. Treasure hunter extraordinaire. Yes, it's a nickname. I ditched my real name in the past. I'm looking for other survivors of this disaster, but it's been a lonely search, and there's danger around every corner. Do you know of a place where I can take refuge? Preferably someplace clean and comfortable, you know, civilized.
So since this is a live playthrough, we're going to tell him Vanini works.
Vanini works? I didn't give that place much thought. That's where the puppets are being made, after all. But I heard tell of a shelter there as well. With no first-hand knowledge, I suppose I have to trust you.
So we're being jerks to him.
Of me, so why don't I lighten my load? Consider this an act of charity. A thank you gift. Take it. Since you're so helpful, I'll give you a peek at my collection. Show me what you're worthy of.
So this is our vendor for the rare ergo that we've been holding onto it for. And remember, each piece of rare ergo from a major boss you can spend on either a weapon or an amulet. And you have to do 2 playthroughs because there's a trophy for getting all the weapons and a trophy for getting all the amulets. The amulets weigh a lot, so you do need a lot of capacity, or maybe to use the carrier amulet as well in order to use these. To simplify this walkthrough, I'm just going to grab the weapons on this playthrough and ignore the amulets, but I encourage you to, if you see an amulet that you like, and the weapon is not one that you were ever going to use on your playthrough, of course, feel free to get the amulet. Just make sure you're keeping track of what you purchased in playthrough number 1 so that when you go into New Game Plus, you make the opposite choice the next time you get the ergo. So I'm going to buy the 7 Coil Spring Sword. And then Etiquette, this is actually a really, really good weapon for technique. So this is one you could play around with if you wanted to. And then this is a really great weapon for motivity. Go through the whole game with this, Holy Sword of the Ark. To go over the amulets really quickly, Dancing One's amulet lets you dodge even when you're completely out of stamina, which can be nice if you're just, trying to get away from something and not die. This is a neat one, Extreme Modification Amulet. You gain a weapon attack in proportion to your Fable slots. This is filled Fable slots. So if you have 5 charged up Fable slots that are blue, right? Blue bars are filled, then you gain that much attack. So it's not great if you're planning on spending your Fable and you're always going to be running on nearly empty, then it's less interesting. This one, Conquering Amulet, lets you gain attack after doing a perfect guard. So if you're really, really good at perfect guarding and doing that a lot, and that's how your play style, this could be nice because you get damage increased after you manage to perfect guard. So that's one I've used on playthroughs and like.
As a descendant of aristocrats, the very best families, I have a duty to the common people. I live my life fulfilling that duty. And part of that duty is ensuring these items are returned to their rightful owners. What I'm showing you is just a portion of the collection. If you come to the refuge, we'll be able to continue our confabulation. Until then, remember this hound when golden wings shine.
All right, and since we lied and sent him to Vanini Works, later on, like after we kill the next boss, we'll need to go to Vanini Works, and hilariously we get to lie to him again, and then he's just really mad at us. But he eventually will end up back at the hotel in that spot that I pointed out earlier in the walkthrough. And most of the time, the lie choices are like, they kind of feel like choices involving your humanity and doing something kind. But this is a lie where you're just jerking the guy around. And there's that guy. A lock-on did something interesting there. It's interesting, when I tried to lock onto him, it spun my camera completely around and had me facing backwards. And here, actually maybe we'll just roll. See if we can do it. There. There's a piece of loot here we can get, but we do then have to drop and go back up the stairs again. Then the way forward, there's a way over here as well as over here. We're going to go this way first. So if you look just inside there, you can see there's a person. A puppet string bouncing off walls. So the Archbishop's going through some stuff. Now I avoided all those puddles. And we got the holy mark for Cecile. That's what she was wanting us to get for her. And we got a new frame. You can see we've kept up on capacity, so we're fine. So now we can go over here. Get that loot. And here's another fire we can knock over. And that'll take out all the decay on the bottom, including the path to the final boss of this area. And if you go down that ladder, we can unlock the shortcut, but we're going to hold off on that for just a second because we can actually go through here. And this was the piece of loot we saw at the very beginning. See, there's our Stargazer. But rather than drop down to that Stargazer, we need to unlock the shortcut, so we're going to go back, go down this ladder. And then we pull this chain and it'll open the door. And now we're able to go back to the Stargazer. And just to show you, this is where the boss is. So just right through that door. But we're going to go ahead and go back to the hotel since we have gotten a cryptic vessel, a supply box, so all sorts of stuff to turn in. Oh, let's turn in our mark to Cecile first.
Oh, thank you. Just seeing the Archbishop's holy mark renews my spirit. It's a reminder of the quiet power of faith. I'll remember this forever, Stalker. It's a reminder of the...
So that's taken care of, and now we can head on back to the hotel. I think the box goes here.
Welcome to...
This is a supply box. I shall open it and add it. Welcome to Hotel Pro.
So you can see we've got another quartz that got added. There's also an apple. We're going to use this for a quest later, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy it so we have it. And then we can bring the cryptic vessel to Vanini.
Isn't this a cryptic vessel? Well, I would expect nothing less from you. What I mean, of course, is that this is a humble invention of mine. A cipher device. Once your information is locked in here, only you can get it out. Of course, once people realize the value of a truly unbreakable way to keep secrets, knockoffs flood the market. The trials and travails of true genius. Forever copied, never credited. But I admit, even some of these knockoffs could still hold secrets. You're welcome to take a crack at, well, cracking it. Who knows? It could lead you to something truly valuable. Or at least more practical. May I be of assistance? I can decipher this in moments, if you'd allow me. I admit I'm a bit
So cryptic
rusty,
vessels are like
but
little
it's all
puzzles where
starting to
he'll
come
show you
back.
a location, and if you go there, you
Genius
can
never sleeps
follow
and
them to
never
get some
truly
loot.
abandons the truly brilliant. What? No, of course I didn't read the contents. Who has time to read anymore? But I could help you read it if you want to.
So you can see that that's I remember the puppet that's hanging on the bridge where we fought the mad donkey. That's what that's a picture of. Just showing you that so you can read it.
I know my way around a weapon.
Going to upgrade our big pipe wrench. So now it's +5. Remember, we're going to hold off spending ergo because we're going to go solve this puzzle first. So the best way to get back, remember, Krat City Hall was just beyond the bridge where we fought the mad donkey. So we're going to go back to Krat City Hall and then just run over to the bridge. So yeah, that cathedral section takes some people literally hours because they try to take on the ones the ladies that throw acid, right? They and then fall off the beams over and over. I mean, you kind of saw what I did by just kind of standing on the beam. If I just thrown the thermite from a distance, like I then ended up doing, that was better. But yeah, people try to fight them directly and don't think about throwables. But throwables really help to realize that. So definitely recommend just using thermite. So here, if you throw a sawtooth wheel, they'll fall down. We get a little bit of information here. It says address Elysian Boulevard, 221B. It's probably a toss-up whether I can Lotus this or run back to it. I think this is slightly faster. So now we're going to go to the inside the house on Elysian Boulevard because the house that we're looking for is, or address that we're looking for is literally right by that Stargazer. And notice with the cryptic vessels, they don't actually, the game doesn't tell you where to go. It's up to you to like pay attention and follow the clues. And I don't remember if I pointed this out on the first, when we were first here, but you can actually see this says 221B. And then we'll open this. I think there's a quartz in here, if I'm remembering correctly. Along with an outfit, the Owl Doctor, who we will encounter later. So now we can go back to the hotel and spend our quartz, because we've got a few.
I'll use my power to help.
Can level up. Oh, actually, let's, we probably have a lot of ergo. So come down, back down and level up again.
I'll use my power to...
So let's see, what were we working on here? Yes, we were going to get some more amulet slots. So let's go with increasing perfect guard destruction. And lower charge attack stamina consumption is good. And then in phase 3, we want to start working on making our pulse cells better. And if I recall correctly, we can actually get another pulse cell. Or thought we could, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Increase pulse cells. So that'll give us another pulse cell on this next boss. So we should be at 7 pulse cells. So this is one of the ways that the game kind of nerfed the content after release, is by putting all this extra quartz at Polendina's shop. You're able to unlock, further into the P organ tree. So, like, for example, you can see I have, 7 pulse cells, whereas people who did this originally could not get that many pulse cells before doing this boss. So that's kind of an indirect nerf, right? Because it allows you to, the more pulse cells you have, the more you can mess up, more mistakes you can make. So finally, what I think I'll do is show you the next boss with a Spectre and talk about his moves a little bit. And then we will end this video there, and in the next video I'll start it with a hopefully clean kill without a Spectre, so you can see how that looks. I'll try to make it as clean as I can, and then we'll keep going. Work our way towards the Malum district. But first, let's take a look at Archbishop Andreas. We'll bring out a Spectre so you can just watch all the horrible things he does to that poor Spectre. Oh, it's worth noting that this whole time I could have had another amulet equipped. That's funny. We don't really have a lot of amulet options right now. As you can see, like, even though this boss isn't a puppet, we don't really have anything useful that we can equip in its place. So, oh wait, let me bring out a Spectre, and then we'll take a look here. You see the intro cutscene. If I show you all the cutscenes in the version with the Spectre, then the clean boss kill, I can just skip everything. So remember, we saw this snake-like thing, when we were first entering the area. So this is a two-phase boss where the boss actually has 2 full health bars. So you actually have to get the health bar to 0, then you'll see a cutscene, and then you'll be doing phase 2 where there'll be a new health bar that you have to reduce to 0. So unlike all the bosses we've done so far, this one is really 2 full phases, 2 full health bars. Phase 1 is really pretty straightforward. He only has a small set of moves, and I'll talk about them as we see them. He's got a tongue lash that you can perfect guard. It will put decay on you if you just get hit by it without guarding, properly perfect guarding. And that's a 2-hit move. He has a 3-hit claw combo, and then he also has a forward single claw hit. And then he also will try to, here's the tongue lash. See, I just stood away from it. Here's the 3-hit move, 1, 2, 3. He'll also try to go up into the air on 2 legs and fall on you. There you can see he's doing the 2-hit move to the Spectre with the tongue. There's the 3-hit claw, 1, 2, claw comes down, then another claw comes across. You can see, like, it's just kind of funny, like, when you have a Spectre. Even if he comes for me, I just run away. Eventually he'll go back to the Spectre. Can see guarding this. Oh, standing so far back. You can see too, like when you fight with a Spectre, his movement actually becomes more unpredictable because sometimes he's facing you. So this, that big move I just usually get away from and then punish by charging in. So there's the 2-hit. So you can see the Spectre actually isn't doing very much damage this time. And I like to, if I can, I like to just get out of that from that. Because I'm just really bad at perfect guarding that one for some reason. See, it's just really annoying, like, when you fight with a Spectre, you don't know what direction he's going to face. So you're trying to just hit him in the back, and then he turns around. And you get hit inadvertently. I just find this in a really lame way to do fights. And we can just patient smash at any point here. Unless we get interrupted like that. A move that knocks you down will actually interrupt it. So we'll just transition here with swings. Here's the cutscene. So yeah, sometimes like fighting with a Spectre is actually more annoying in certain ways because the boss will move so unpredictably. When the boss is always facing you, you at least know exactly how the attack's going to work. So now, in the second phase of this fight, there are 2 sides of this boss. There's this new, vaguely human-looking side, snake-human side, and then the side you were fighting before. Now, I like to go back to the original side because a lot of the moves are the same as in phase 1, so it's familiar. And in addition, this humanoid is really annoying because perfect guarding a lot of the moves actually knock you back. So then it's hard to actually do damage. Maybe I could show that if he hits me. So I cancel lock on and just come over here. Although one interesting thing here is if the Spectre's facing one way and you're facing the other, you can both be dealing with attacks. So there's the flop down, and then you can just, go in if you're close enough. It's really weird to fight with the Spectre. Oh, now he's dead, so it's more straightforward. Oh, I'm getting hit now, though. There you go, to patient smash. you can just kind of get away from that and then charge in and punish. Here's the tongue lash. Now this is this AoE, so we... That's good. That's what we wanted anyway. So now in the next session, I will come back and do this fight for real without a Spectre. I just like to show it with a Spectre up front, so that you can kind of, if that's the way you're wanting to play, you can kind of get a feel for what's going to happen if you use one. So we will recover our Ergo, refill our Fable slots, and then we will do this for real in the next video. So until then, see you next time.